Welcome to this presentation on Prodigy. Recently in Clovis Unified, a few updates happened inside of Clever which allow us to log into Prodigy slightly differently from the way that we used to sign into Prodigy. Whenever I take the children into Prodigy, I ask them to go into Clever first, and then I ask them to click on Google Drive. And the reason I do this is because Prodigy wants to authenticate their account with the Sign In with Google button. And in order to do that, the children need to sign into Google first. So I have the children click on Google Drive, and the language that I typically use is you need to let Prodigy know that you are friends with Google. So after you have opened up Google Drive, you might have a blue button that says Continue. After you've clicked on the Continue button, Google Drive is going to open for you. After Google Drive opens, it's going to be your job to head back over to Clever. You'll notice how I have that blue arrow pointing to the tab at the top of the screen that's going to take you back into Clever. Once you've gotten into Clever, you're going to scroll down the screen until you find the two Prodigy buttons. There are two of them. One says Students, one says Teachers. My blue arrow is pointing to the little Prodigy monster, and that's the one you need to click on. After you click on Prodigy, Prodigy will open up in a new tab, and you'll notice how my large yellow arrow is pointing to Sign In with Google. And that's the button that you want to use in order to sign in with Google. If you see this, something went wrong and you didn't open Google Drive like I recommended on that last screen. So open up Google Drive and then try it again. You will eventually see a screen, a pop-up that shows you your name. Go ahead and click on your name, and then after you click on your name, then you're going to land here at Prodigy. My orange arrow on the left is pointing to the Update button. If you have an existing Prodigy account and you want to make sure that all your information comes to your teacher's dashboard, you might need to click that button. Lean into your teacher's counsel or wisdom to determine whether or not that is necessary. And team, you will only need to do that one time during the school year. The Update button is going to show up over and over and over again, but you only need to update that information one time. On the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side, there is a white hand pointing to the word Next. If you don't need to update your account with a magic code, then go ahead and choose the Next button. For anyone who is brand new to Prodigy, it's going to ask you to select your wizard. You'll notice how there is a friend at the top of the screen who is letting you know exactly what's supposed to happen on this screen, and that same friend will show up on many other screens in the future. Do you want a girl wizard or do you want a boy wizard? Once you've made your selection, choose the Next button. On this screen, you will stylize your wizard. What hairstyle do you want? What hair color do you want? What skin color do you want? Those are the modifications that you choose on this particular screen. Once those items have been selected, then you can choose the Next button on the bottom of the screen. You'll notice how there is an arrow pointing you, counseling you, coaching you along so that you click on the right thing. After you have fully stylized your character, then you're going to let your teacher know if you are at school or if you are at home. If you're at school, choose school. If you're at home, choose home. Your wizard will need to get out of bed. You'll see that white bouncing hand again. Choose Next. You're going to roam through the forest. A new update happened not too long ago where you actually choose a pet in this early stage of the game, and I'll show you that screen in just a little while. Early on, for the very first time, it's your job to make sure that you name your wizard. You'll see a white box on the left side of the screen. You can move up or down the alphabet. You have over 200 names to choose from. Once you have selected the name that you want for your wizard, it isn't so much that it's your name, but it's the name you're selecting for your wizard. Then you can choose the I'm done button at the bottom of the screen. Prodigy will not let you type in a name of your choosing. It needs to be a name that's already in their database. Choose from one of those 200 names, please. Along the way, you're going to encounter various opponents, and when you encounter those various different opponents, in order to attack your opponent, you need to solve a math question. You're going to have a wizard book, and then inside your wizard book, you get to choose from different attack strategies. You can see those tabs on the outside of the book, and then when you're on each of those tabs, then you can choose whatever type of attack strategy you would like to use on your opponent. So what do the math questions look like? This is a sample of what one of those math questions will look like. You have a question located at the top. You might have a graphic, an image, a chart, a graph, a shape, base 10 blocks, some idea that is on display in the middle of the screen. And then over on the left, you'll notice how it's a multiple choice question. So choose the correct answer for this question. And then over on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice how there are colored pencils. There's an eraser. There's a trash can. There's a toolbar. I'll talk a little bit more about those in the slides that follow. When you use the colored pencils on the right-hand side, you can use more than one color at a time to sketch out your thoughts or ideas on how you want to solve this math question. I highly recommend using those colored pencils on the screen so that you can carefully sketch out your thought process in order to come to the correct answer. On the top on the right, located near the pencil, you will find the toolbox. Inside the toolbox, you have counters, coins, base 10 blocks, and fractions. You have math tools that are going to help you solve these math questions. I highly recommend that you use these math tools in order to answer any of those math questions. On the left-hand side, you have a speaker button if you need any of those questions read out loud to you. You also have a light bulb that appears next to each of those answer options. Sometimes you also have a light bulb located inside of the question. If you ever choose the light bulb, a box is going to pop up and it's going to give you some help. It's either going to define a term or an idea, or it's going to give you a math strategy in order to solve a question. When you're finished looking at and reading any of those helps, then choose the little X that appears. When you click on that X, the help box will disappear, and then you can make your selection and then choose the cast spell bottom at the bottom right corner of the screen, or you can press Enter on your keyboard in order to submit your answer for that question. Prodigy is kind enough to give you instantaneous feedback, letting you know if your answer was correct or incorrect. Sometimes Prodigy will give you an opportunity to try that question again. You would see an orange band along the bottom, and then it would give you the counsel to try that question again. As you move through different levels and you level up, the screen will usually notify you that you've leveled up. Awesome, great job, so proud of you, and then you'll move on. You'll eventually see a chest on the screen, and then that chest will open up once you click on it, and then all of the coins that belong to you will spill forth from that chest. On the right side of my screen, you'll notice how the white hand is showing me where to go, and you'll notice how my friend at the bottom of the screen is telling me that I'm supposed to go that direction. So please read those details on the screen in order to help yourself move through this wizarding world. I mentioned this earlier. This is what it looks like when those pets arrive. Choose a pet. Which one would you like to train? And then go ahead and choose that next button when you're finished. As you continue through your wizarding adventure, you might see pop-ups that look like this, that ask you to get bonus stars or to become a member or things like that. My arrow on the right side of the screen is pointing to an X inside of a red circle. In order to get rid of any of these messages, they're in your way, you don't need to see them right now, please just click on the X in the top right corner and those messages will disappear. Here's another one. Members get amazing things. You don't need that right now. You can go ahead and click on the X and that message will disappear so that you can turn around and return to the game. When you are moving through your wizard world, you will see other students from your class. You can actually click on other students and battle them. However, the other person has to accept that battle in order for it to work. Can you see that green arrow that's pointing down to the trophy on the bottom of the screen? If someone wants to battle you, you will see a bouncing exclamation mark on top of that trophy, and then you'll see a box inside of that trophy where you can accept that battle and you can battle each other. You will have opportunities to earn new coins. You will have opportunities to earn new resources and potions. Some of your questions will come in a drop-down menu. Sometimes it's fill in the blank. Sometimes it's multiple choice. All of these response strategies are good practice for you. And you'll see each of these questions as you move along. So, friends, thank you so much for joining me on this Prodigy adventure. I'm sure that you are going to enjoy Prodigy just as much as I do, and you will have an opportunity to celebrate your awesome math skills by using this fantastic tool. Thanks so much.